This story is about a world where people could stay in touch with their family even after they died, so that no one felt lonely. Let's see how this story unfolds. The story started with a girl named Bai Li, who was waiting for her flight at the airport. A man named Sung, sitting next to her, asked if she was going to visit her family. Bai Li said she was traveling for work, and mentioned that her daughter lived with her mom. The man then asked how long she would stay. Bai Li replied that she would be there for 3 months. Soon, her flight was announced, and she boarded the plane. In the next scene, a girl named Jiangyin was sleeping in her apartment when she received a call from her boyfriend, Taeju, who was an astronaut in space. He called to wake her up because she needed to go to work. Tai always woke Jiangyin up like this, as she was an air hostess and had asked him to make sure she was up on time. Jiangyin quickly got ready and left the house, but before leaving, she asked Tae to wake her up a bit earlier the next day. Next, we saw Harry sitting in a restaurant with a boy when she received a video call from her mom. To tease her mom, Harry said she was dating someone. Her mom asked about the boy, and the boy with Harry came on the call and greeted her mom. Her mom thought he was really her boyfriend. Harry ended the call, and they both started leaving the restaurant. The boy then asked Harry if he could help by pretending to be her boyfriend. Harry agreed. Later, during dinner, they both talked to Harry's mom and dad on a video call. The boy introduced himself as Hyun-soo. Harry's dad asked Hyun about his family. Her parents were happy that she had finally found someone, but they didn't know the truth. In the next scene, Bai Li spoke to her daughter on a video call when one of her colleagues suddenly called out to everyone because he discovered something. Bai Li quickly ended the call and started to leave, but then had a flashback. She remembered a time when she was at work, and her daughter called. Instead of answering and listening to her, Bai Li told her daughter that she was busy and would talk later. As she remembered this moment, Bai Li realized that she often ignored her daughter because of her work. Ignoring her colleagues, she went back, called her daughter, and apologized. In the following scene, Jong visited the hospital, where Tae, who had a brain hemorrhage, was admitted. Jong spoke with the doctor, who explained that Tae would face challenges in his daily life due to the brain hemorrhage, and she would need to assist him. Later, Jong took Tae home. The next morning, Tae prepared breakfast for Jong. While doing so, he accidentally started pouring hot water on his hand. Seeing this, Jong quickly grabbed his hand and spilled the water. Jong then understood what the doctor meant, that Tae couldn't manage daily life on his own. Bai Li called her daughter, but she was asleep. Bai Li's mom started to end the call, but Bai Li asked her to wait. She asked her mom to take care of her daughter and thanked her for always doing so, but her mom didn't respond. Bai Li then showed her mom something and asked if she could get it as a gift for her and her friends. Her mom replied that she didn't want anything and disconnected the call, seeming upset with Bai Li. The next day, while Bai Li was walking in a market, she ran into the same man she had met at the airport. While talking to him, Bai Li mentioned that she felt like her mom was hiding something from her. Suddenly, Harry's voice called out to the man, though she wasn't there, and no call was received. She called him Song. Song then excused himself to go to the bathroom, but instead, he went to a room and talked to Harry in front of a screen. Harry informed him that Bai Li's mom was having her service terminated this month. After their conversation, Song returned to Bai Li as if nothing had happened. The next day, Jong received a call from a man who told her that Tae had come to him, asking for a job. He mentioned that Tae wasn't well. Jong assured him that Tae was fine. After hanging up, she called Tae in space and asked him about fever tablet. She took the medicine and went to sleep. Later that night, Jong woke up and found some strangers partying in her house, and Tae was with them. Tae told her that he had visited someone earlier and would soon have a job again. Jong ignored his comment and asked who these people were. Tae reminded her that she had mentioned inviting friends over for a party, so he had invited them. He asked Jong to join the party, but Jong got upset and told him that he wasn't acting like himself. Meanwhile, Bai Li talked to her daughter on a video call, telling her she would bring her along soon. Bai Li's mother then tried to get her daughter to eat, but she refused. Frustrated, Bai Li's mother took the phone and ended the call. She told Bai Li's daughter to eat again, but the little girl insisted on going to her mom. Bai Li's mother, now angry, warned her that if she kept insisting, she would never let her talk to Bai Li again. Later, Bailey called her mom, who angrily asked why she had lied to her daughter about taking her along. Bailey explained that she said it to keep her daughter from troubling her mother. Bailey's mom then said she was planning to take the girl back to China. Bailey tried to stop her, saying they should talk about it when she returned. But her mom insisted that Bailey would never come back. Jong felt very upset because of Tae's behavior. The next day, Dong left her phone at home in a rush while heading to the airport. After she left, her phone started ringing. Tae picked it up and checked it, but the calls had stopped. When Jong returned and saw her phone in Tae's hand, she asked why he was looking at it. Tae denied doing anything. Jong didn't believe him. She told Tae that he was hurting her, and though Tae apologized, Jong left. Still upset, when Jong stepped out of the apartment, she received a call from Tae, who was in space. Later that night, when she returned from work, she found a missed call from the building's owner. As she arrived, she noticed a fire truck and a crowd gathered outside. Jong got out of the taxi and looked around, realizing that her apartment had caught fire. From the CCTV footage, Jong saw that the fire started after she and Tae had left the apartment. An officer asked Jong if she noticed any changes in Tae's behavior. Jong denied it, insisting that Tae didn't cause the fire. After leaving the police station, they walked down the road since her apartment was destroyed. Jong asked Tae if she had been cooking, but Tae denied starting the fire. Then, Tae suggested that they go on a vacation. Jong mentioned that she had a flight to Barcelona the next day. Barcelona was Jong's favorite place, so Tae thought she would be happy. However, Jong shouted that she was not happy and that there was no joy left in her life. Meanwhile, Hae-ri, who worked as an agent at Wonderland travel agency, called a boy to inform him about his grandmother's death. She assured him that they wouldn't cancel his and his grandmother's service until he returned. Bailey's mother took her daughter, Ji-ha, to the airport because they were heading to China together. At the airport, she stopped an air hostess to ask for directions. Suddenly, she noticed that Ji-ha was no longer with her. She looked around frantically, couldn't find Ji-ha anywhere. Worried, she made an announcement at the airport, but Ji-ha was still missing. Then, Bailey called and asked about Ji-ha. Her mother told her that Ji-ha had disappeared. Bailey asked if she had informed the police, but her mother didn't answer. Bailey started screaming in panic, but her mother yelled back, saying she was no longer her mother, and then her phone switched off. Jong went to the airport, with Tae following her. Tae told Jong that he wanted to go on the flight with her, but she refused, saying he wasn't well enough to travel. Tae insisted he was fine, but Jong said she would talk to him when she returned. Tae thought she was avoiding him. Before Jong could respond, her phone rang. She answered the call and began to leave, and Tae asked who was calling. She handed him the phone, and Tae saw that the call was from his own number. Tae answered the call and saw the Tae who was in space on the other end. Shocked, he asked who it was. Jong quickly disconnected the call and told Tae to come with her on the flight, promising to explain everything. After sitting on the plane for a while, Tae decided to get off before it took off. He didn't want to travel with Jong, and she had no idea what he was thinking. Bailey had a dream where she saw Ji-ha, who said, "Mom, I found you." Bailey tried to catch her, but Ji-ha kept appearing at different places, sometimes at the beach and sometimes at the airport. Bailey couldn't reach her. And then she suddenly woke up. Panicking, she quickly got into her car to leave. People tried to stop her, but she ignored them and drove away. She drove into the desert, where a sandstorm was happening. It was dark, and visibility was poor. Bailey kept driving through the storm. In Wonderland, when Hyun learned about Bailey's actions, he informed Hae-ri that Bailey had become active again. He said he was trying to deactivate her, but it wasn't working. Concerned, Harry called Sung Joon. The scene then showed Sung driving in the same desert where Bailey had gone. He stopped his car in front of hers, quickly got out and pulled Bailey from her vehicle. As soon as she was out, her car was swept away by the storm, and they both fell to the ground because of the flying dust. Hae-ri and Hyun were watching Bailey on a screen. Hyun told Hae-ri that they needed to delete Bailey's data, or their entire system would crash. He suggested they could rebuild her, but Hae-ri said she wouldn't be the same as before. Suddenly, their system shut down. Hae-ri realized Bailey had a plan and told Hyun to reconnect Bailey's network. Hyun asked what she intended to do, and Hae-ri replied that she wanted to help Bailey. In the next scene, Bailey was at the airport searching for Ji-ha. Tae was also there, and Bai Li called him, saying he was the only one who could help her. She asked him to stop Jiha if he saw her. After some time, Tae spotted Jiha running and about to get hit by a car. He quickly ran and grabbed her, telling her that her mom asked her to wait there. Soon after, Bai Li's mother arrived. Seeing her, Jiha hid, but her grandmother knew she was there. She thanked Tae and then took Jiha away. As they were leaving, Jiha said that her mom told her to wait. She asked her grandmother to call her mom, but her grandmother said Bai Li couldn't hear them. However, Jiha insisted, so her grandmother handed her the phone. Jiha called Bai Li, who answered. Jiha asked, "Mom, where are you?" Bai Li told her she was at the airport. Jiha said she couldn't see her. Then Bai Li revealed that she was dead. After hearing this, Jiha looked at Bai Li's mother and asked Bai Li if she would still tell her a story. Bai Li said yes. Then, Bai Li spoke to her mother, telling her how much she missed her. After chatting for a while, Bai Li ended the call. In Wonderland, Hyeon and Hae-ri were shown as their system was restored. A little later, Hae-ri received a call from Jong, who told her that she wanted to deactivate her service. Hae-ri asked why, and Jong explained that since Tae had come out of his coma, she no longer needed to stay connected to the digital world of Wonderland with the version of Tae from space. This revealed that Wonderland was a place where people could stay connected with their loved ones, even after death, through a digital world. Jong then told Tae about the space, Tae, and Wonderland. After listening to her, Tae walked away. Jong began to remember the moments she had spent with him. Unable to bear the thought of being without him, she ran after Tae and hugged him. In the final scene, Bai Li and Sung were shown sitting on the same bench at the airport. Just like in the first scene, Sung asked Bai Li if she was going back, and Bai Li replied that she had come to see her family and would be returning. She told Sung that she would stay in touch with him since he knew about everything. The movie ended there.